Antonio Brown and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have agreed to another one-year contract, which means Tampa Bay has officially brought back their entire Super Bowl winning team. But does that mean that they're going to repeat next season? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Sanctuary, where we talk about all things sports all the time. Today we're talking about Antonio Brown re-signing a one-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and whether or not they can repeat as Super Bowl champions. But before we get into all that, please, I want to ask you, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel if you want to get weekly sports content. Hit that thumbs up, and please turn on notifications so you can get alerted every time I upload new content to the channel. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. And yeah, man, if you haven't heard by now, Antonio Brown re-signed a one-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The deal is worth about $1 to $3 million base pay with incentives and roster bonuses and stuff stacked on top of it. I'm not exactly sure the exact details of the contract, but that's just the gist of it. Basically, he's being paid dirt cheap again, and these are just the kind of deals that Antonio Brown is going to have to reduce himself to accepting year in and year out because of his past history, and that's just what it is. I know there was some rumors flying around that he might get signed with Kansas City or something else of that nature. I heard somebody else was, I think, the Ravens. People were talking about maybe he went to the Ravens to go play with his cousin and Lamar. That would have been scary. I did not want to see that happen, just like I don't want to see Julio Jones end up on the fucking Ravens, but that's another discussion for another time. As a Browns fan, we're going to have to jump into that eventually if that happens. But yeah, Tampa Bay being able to retain Antonio Brown on their Super Bowl winning team, I think it's a huge deal, man. And it's made me ask, has Tampa Bay honestly had the best offseason in the NFL so far? And I think other than like the Browns and the Chiefs, and that's about probably the Titans. No, not the Titans. Those are probably the top three I can think of on top of my head. The Browns, the Buccaneers, and the Chiefs, who've had a decent offseason. I have to go down and sit and look at a list and look at all the moves that everybody made. But out of the Patriots, they've had a decent offseason as well. So when looking at all these moves that these teams have been making, I'm thinking that the Buccaneers, honestly, I don't know how they've done it with the salary cap being reduced and all this stuff, even with the voidable years, and I just don't understand how they were able to bring back this entire team of not superstars, but like this whole team of expensive ass players. Like they franchised Godwin, they re-signed Ndamukong Suh, they re-signed Shaq Barrett, Levante David, they re-signed the kicker, they re-signed Tom Brady, whose cap hit is only $10 million, which is less of a hit than Baker Mayfield's hit to the Cleveland Browns. It's like, I don't know how they pulled this off, and it seems like destiny is coalescing around Tom Brady to get his 8th ring. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Does them having the best offseason mean that it's automatically gonna translate into them getting back to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I think the NFC is gonna be noticeably a lot tougher this year. And now that everybody sees that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are for real, I think people are going to come out gunning for them in a way that they weren't gunning for them last year. I think it's going to be a whole different ball game. It's going to be a lot of people out to prove that Tom Brady is not the only aging quarterback who can still get to a Super Bowl and win it. So I feel that motivation, the Tom Brady effect, is going to be in full effect in this 2021 season going into the 2022 postseason. And y'all, you can put your money on that and take it to the bank. I think that Tom Brady will make a good run into the playoffs. I just don't see him getting back into the Super Bowl. I just don't see it. I don't know who's coming out of the NFC yet. I just know that even with the GOAT as your quarterback, repeating as a Super Bowl champion is not easy. And I think Tom Brady is the last quarterback to do it, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that. I don't have a fact checker here. Like, I don't have a Jamie like Joe Rogan does on his show. Like, so I can have somebody pull it up for me. But yeah, I do think that this makes them very dangerous, bringing their whole team back. But at the same time, I do not think this gives them just a shoe-in to be the Super Bowl champions. I think that Tampa Bay, if they'd have met up with a couple other teams in the Super Bowl last year, they wouldn't have won that Super Bowl. It's just because they went up against the Chiefs, who had only one way of playing with the run-pass options, and they had no offensive line. Andy Reid was distracted with his son getting in that accident. He came in with a basic game plan that Tampa Bay was ready for, especially after the way that the Chiefs embarrassed them in their regular season game. I just think that none of that stuff is going to be happening this year. I don't think the Chiefs are going to get back to the Super Bowl from the AFC, and I don't think that the Buccaneers are going to get back to the Super Bowl from the NFC. That's just me. I wouldn't be surprised if they got back, but I just don't think it's going to happen because of how tremendously hard it is to pull off, even for immensely talented quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. But I'm happy for Antonio Brown, man, that he gets to keep going. I know this is probably not what he wanted. I know he probably wanted more than a one-year deal. I know he probably wanted way more money. But he put himself in this situation. This is what he's going to have to do for the remainder of his career, just playing on these one-year deals and trying to prove himself and being on his best behavior. And I'm not so sure that he's going to get another opportunity once Tom Brady retires. Like, let's say Tom Brady gets his 8th ring this year. If he comes back again trying to get a 9th, I might stop watching football for a time until Tom retires. But as long as Tom Brady's playing, then Antonio Brown has some place to play. I don't think anybody's going to take a chance on Antonio. Tom Brady's not around because it seems like Tom is the only quarterback that can keep him in check, and not keep him in check, but, get the most out of him. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's really all I got on the subject. What do you guys think? Do you think Antonio Brown coming back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers means that they had the best offseason? And if you do you think that translates into them repeating as Super Bowl champions? Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, and let's talk NFL football, baby. If you enjoyed this video, please do like I said earlier. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and share the video with your friends. It would be very much appreciated. That's all I got for you guys today. Please take care of yourselves, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.